Hello there, welcome in. The other night I was watching Mrs. Melissa M on YouTube. Yes, I watch more than my fair share of YouTube beauty videos. I love her channel, I watch all her videos, but this video in particular was so much fun. And the title was really a kick. It was the makeup you'd have to pry out of my cold, dead hands. I thought it was so funny and it really caught my eye. Well, about halfway through the video, I realized I had listed quite a number of products that she actually loves and are her holy grails that I had never tried. So I realized then, well, I'm gonna need to order these products. And then I got the products in and I thought, well, I'm gonna need to do a video. This video is definitely inspired by the wonderful Mrs. Melissa M here on YouTube. I'm sure you're already following her. If you're not, I'll make sure that I have her channel and the video listed below. If you're new here, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, and truly, who of us aren't, make sure you stop by prettyover50.com. There's so much great information just waiting for you there. I have a lot of the products that Mrs. Melissa M used in this very, very fun video. Truly, you've got to go watch the video. It was such a kick. I don't have all of them, and some of the products I switched out for holy grails that are mine. So definitely make sure that you go over and watch her video after this one, and you're going to see some great products really, really loved by a couple of us here on YouTube. As always, all products that I use and mention today will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's hop into it. The first product she talked about is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I used this for the longest time and I really do love it. If you're not familiar with it, it's really kind of a thick primer and it really does fill your pores in and provide a great canvas for your makeup. And of course, with my primer, I always make sure that I get it underneath my eyes so that my concealer has a better chance of looking good. This really does smooth out the skin and fill in your pores. However, I have found another primer very, very similar that I actually prefer to the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is very, very similar. It's from Hard Candy and it's their Smoothing Primer Balm. Very, very similar. I find this one to be a little bit more hydrating. Next up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeshadow Primer. Mrs. Melissa M loves this one, and you know, I've fallen back in love with it too. Truly, you need the tiniest little amount on this primer, and that's probably even too much for both eyelids. So I just tap it in between both fingers and that goes on the lids. The reason this can be so good for us over 50 gals is that it's very, very opaque and it does cover up all the lines and discolorations in my lid, which I really appreciate. The one thing that I've noticed that I have to be careful with this primer is that it is a little bit thicker than my Milani, so I have to make sure that I use just a small amount so that my eyelids don't look a little heavier and crinklier because it's thicker. Next up is the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and I have it in the color taupe. I'll have to tell you that I wasn't that wowed by it. Maybe I'm missing something, so we're gonna go ahead and use it today, and I'm just gonna brush that through my brows. Apparently this has fibers in the formula that help to fill in your brows, and it sets your brows, which is a nice little plus. So it's kind of a one-step brow coloring and brow setting product. It does go on really, really easily. I'm not sure if it's enough for me. I think that I'll definitely go in with a brow pencil towards the end of my makeup in order to do the detail work on my brows. What do you think? Do my brows look thicker? The eyeshadow palette that Melissa featured is the Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace. You've probably heard about this palette. This is so beloved by so many people, and I've actually had this palette for quite some time. You can see it's a beautiful neutral colorway with a few pops of color, and here's the thing with this particular palette. I've used it. I haven't fallen in love with it like so many people have, and again, I think, what am I missing? So we're going to use this today, and I'm really going to be more aware of the formulas. That's what everyone falls in love with this palette, is the formulas. Of course, the colorway is beautiful, but the formula is what is such a big hit with the Sydney Grace palette. So we're going to go ahead and use this today, and I'm going to do a very similar eye look to what Melissa did in her video. I'm going to start off right here with this color Victoria, and that's going to go right in the transition area. And I'm just going to place that right above my natural crease, right up underneath my eyebrow. And what that's going to do is it's really going to start lifting my eye up by making my crease appear like it's a little bit higher. So I'm just very gently going to start smoothing that in. And I'm not going to be afraid to get that tucked up right underneath my eyebrow, because I'm going to go in with a highlighter color right underneath my eyebrow towards the end of my look. When I'm doing my transition color, I want to make sure that I don't bring the color down very far on the outside of my eye, because when I relax my eye, that skin ends up a lot lower than it does when my eyebrows are lifted. So I really like to make sure that I keep it within the area between the end of my brow and the corner of my eye. Now I'm going to take a flat brush and dip it into this color Cherish right here. And that's going to go deeper into the crease and then down onto the outside corner of my lower movable lid. Gosh, that's such a pretty color. It's a really beautiful cool tone brown. Isn't that pretty? And with the color that goes in the outside corner of my eye, I like to flick it up a little bit towards my brow in order to give the look of a lift on that outside corner. Now I'm going to take my BK Beauty 201 brush and just blend those colors together so that the transition is very smooth. Now I'm going to dip my finger into this color Romeo, and that's going to go right over the movable lid. Isn't that just a beautiful shimmer shade? Now I'm going to go back into this color Passion. I think I might have called it Cherish last time around. Anyway, I'm going to use this to darken up the outside corner of my eye. So I'm just going to place that right on the outside third of my movable lid and just deepen up that crease area. Now I'm just going to blend those colors in together. I find that blending is so important now that my eyes are a little bit more mature and my lids are a little bit more crinkly than they used to be. For me, blending just really is the ticket to having my eyeshadow look as good as it can. I'm going to be trying a new foundation today. Melissa loves this foundation. I was so surprised that not only had I never tried it, but I hadn't even thought about trying it. This is the No. 7 Lift Illuminate Triple Action Serum Foundation. Now, I use the No. 7 Lift Illuminate powder to set my under eyes all the time. I had never thought about using this foundation. Melissa loves it. Apparently it's her holy grail, high-end, low-end, drugstore, whatever. I'm really excited to try this today. I went ahead and got it in the color Calico. Not sure how this color is going to work for me, but I'm very hopeful. So it comes with a nice pump. The bottle is really beautiful. It's kind of a frosted glass. It feels really good in the hand. I'm starting out with about a pump and a half. I'm just going to dot that over the face. The formula feels moussey. It feels a little bit thicker than some of the more serum-y foundations I've been using lately. And today I'm just going to use my Sigma sponge and work it in with that. This color looks really good. It's blending in really quickly. Holy smokes, you guys, this looks really, really beautiful. Why have I never tried this foundation before? This is why we have to watch lots of YouTube beauty videos so we can find the really good stuff. So this is how the foundation looks on the skin. I can tell you in my mirror, which is like 100 million X, I think it's about 7X, it looks so beautiful. It looks skin-like. It feels very, very light on the skin. The color is perfect for me. It does have a little bit of a gray undertone, which seems to work really well for my complexion. It is so beautiful. It's not as full coverage as some of the foundations I've been using lately, so my age spots are showing through a little bit, but I'll go ahead and hit those with concealer. But oh my gosh, for a drugstore price foundation, this is stunningly beautiful. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, not much radiance, but it doesn't look totally flat and matte either, which I think is really, really beautiful. So, oh my gosh, so glad I tried this. It's absolutely stunning on the skin. To correct my under eyes, I'm going to use the Pixie color corrector in the color Peach. I love this, and Melissa does too. It's the one that she used. This one does sell out a lot. Unfortunately, you kind of have to wait until you can find it. The other corrector that I use, which I really, really like, is the Stila Correct and Perfect palette. The reason I like this one so much is that you have all the colors in here. It's higher priced because it's Stila, but I really do think this is worth the value if you have other issues that crop up from time to time that you need other colors with. So I'm just going to blend that Pixie in. This really is a handy dandy little product. If you can find it, go ahead and pick it up. It's really worth it. For concealer, I'm going to be using a Revolution concealer. This is the Conceal and Define. I think Melissa had the Conceal and Hydrate, so this is a little bit different than the formula she used. You know, this was in my makeup bucket and I've had it for quite some time and I don't think I've ever even used it. You guys know I'm on the big concealer hunt, so who knows, maybe this will be a good one. It comes in a tiny little tube. It has a very, very big doe foot applicator. And you can see the color right here. I do like the fact that it's a little bit of a brighter color because I like a little bit of brightening underneath my eyes. I'm just going to start with a little dot under each eye. And I'm using a new concealer brush. This is the 205 brush from BK Beauty. It has a nice angle right there. Makes it really easy to get into all the little angles underneath my eyes, and it's really, really soft. So I'm just going to start blending that in. And I like to keep it right in that corner where it's mostly purple. And once I have less on my brush, then I can start bringing it out to the outside corner. I do like the fact that this is a lighter color concealer. I'm going to set my concealer with a new product that Melissa recommended in this video. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I haven't used this. I've heard so much about it. I'm going to use my sponge, and it has this little pointed tip on it that I really like for setting my under eyes. I'm going to spray a little bit of that on my sponge. And I kind of like to tap it off on the back of my hand and then just use that to set underneath my eyes. Actually, that concealer looks pretty good. So here you can see it. Surprisingly, it looks a lot better than a lot of high-end concealers I've tried lately. I am going to use a little bit of my Fenty Beauty. This is the lavender powder that I've been using underneath my eyes lately. I really like the fact that it brightens my under eyes just a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush and gently set that in. Then I'm going to go back in with that same sponge and just really press that in. For bronzer, I'm going to be using the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I love this bronzer, and Melissa featured it in her video, and I thought, girl, you got good taste. This is in the color Sunkissed. I don't think this bronzer gets enough love. It really is so beautiful. And the formula is just so very silky. So I'm just going to start hitting that in the areas I want to add a little bit of life to. And then always on my forehead. And then underneath my chin. Isn't that just the most beautiful color? This is the color Sunkissed. I'm so excited about this blush. This is one of the ColourPop Super Shock blushes. I love this formula. It's kind of a cream to powder formula, but there's just something that's really special about this to me. This one is in the color Prenup, and I got to order this because I didn't have this one. You can see it here on the back of my hand. It's just really a beautiful, cool pink tone. And I'm going to go ahead and just pat that on with my fingers. Isn't that just so pretty? I think I'm going to fall in love with this color. Okay, I'm loving this color. It's so pretty. This is a great color for spring. If you're looking for a little brighter, fresher colors for spring, this is a good choice. Just going to take my sponge and really work that in and smooth out any edges. Oh gosh, that's so pretty. I'm in love with that color. For highlight, this is the Wet n Wild 2 Reflect Shimmer Palette. I had never even heard of this. I'm so tickled about that. Look at how pretty that is. This is a highlight color. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to put it right next to the blush on the back of my hand. So there it is. Oh my gosh, isn't that just so beautiful? Get a little bit on my Thrive brush right here and just hit that at the top of the cheeks. Okay, isn't that pretty? I'm really liking this. How have I never heard of this before? I just don't know how that happens. And this is from Wet n Wild. I use a ton of Wet n Wild products. I really like that. I have a new big fluffy brush. Isn't this just gorgeous? This is from e.l.f. Isn't that just so pretty? Haven't used it before, but today we're going to use it to blend in all those cheek products. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. This is a nice brush. For my finishing powder, I'm going to be using the Milani Prep Set and Glow. This is just my all-time favorite. Big fluffy brush from BK Beauty. And just blend that over the skin. This just gives the most subtle, beautiful radiance to my complexion. I haven't found anything that I like as much. I'm going to use the same Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Setting Spray. Now I'm going to use the L'Oreal Lay Liner to line my eyes. I'm going to actually line along my lash line and then tight line with this pencil. And for mascara, I'm going to use the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. You're going to be so surprised at how long my lashes look with this mascara. I'll be right back. Look at the length the Sky High Mascara creates. It's just amazing. My eyelashes are almost hitting my eyebrows. This stuff really does lengthen. To finish off the eyes, I used my Sigma Essentials palette. You guys have seen this a million times. I use this color Snow right here on a little flat brush, and I just touch it underneath my eyebrows, in the corners of my eyes to brighten up that area a little bit, and right underneath my lower lashes to again brighten that area. This palette is so handy. It stays on my makeup table all the time. For lipstick, Melissa featured a lipstick that I already had, and I was so tickled about that. This is from Maybelline, and it's called Born With It. This is just the prettiest soft pink, kind of a cool pink color. You can see it right there. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to pair it with the NYX lip liner. This is in the color Nude Peach. So you can see the Nude Peach right here, and then the Born With It right there. So there's the lip liner. Here's the lipstick. Here's the finished makeup look. Gosh, that was so much fun. It's so surprising to me that I found products that I'd never heard about that I absolutely love. So I'm tickled to have done this. I want to thank you, Mrs. Melissa M, for all these great ideas. She has no idea I'm doing this video, but I'm so thrilled that I found so many of these products. For me, the absolute hit of this whole makeup look is this foundation. How did I not know about this? And why isn't everybody screaming from the rooftops about this? This is the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Serum Foundation. I'm in the color Calico. It is absolutely stunning on my skin. It looks skin-like. It has the most beautiful soft glow. This color is perfect for me. It is just glorious, and I can't believe I'm just now finding it. Here's the good news, drugstore price. So if you're casting around looking for a great foundation, I can tell you this is a real big winner with me. Beautiful packaging, glorious on the skin. Can't say enough good things about the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Serum Foundation. As for the Revolution Concealer, this is different than the one Melissa has. She has the Conceal and Hydrate. I have the Conceal and Define. I can say it's okay. It's actually pretty good. It's not my favorite concealer, but it's a lot better than a lot of the high-end concealers I've been trying lately. So many of them have been just terrible. So I can say this is okay, not my favorite, but glad I tried it. This ColourPop blush in the color Prenup, oh my gosh, absolutely love this. Such a pretty color on the cheeks, so perfect for spring. Light and bright, cool tone pink, great formula. I love the Super Shock blush formulas. They're really good. So big fan of the Prenup blush from ColourPop. The Enduring Love palette put together a really pretty look today. I know this is a favorite of so many people. I can tell you I like it. It hasn't quite tickled that right spot for me yet to where I think it's just one of my most outstanding palettes. But I do feel like the look is really beautiful today. The formulas are very nice. They blend out beautifully. So the Enduring Love palette did a nice job with the eyeshadow today. The Milani Silky Matte Bronzer, I have the color Sunkissed. This is a beautiful bronzer. The formula is great. It goes on beautifully. The color is just nice and perfect. It does just enough to warm up my skin tone without looking too orangey, which I don't like at all. So big fan of this one, and Melissa is too. The Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. I don't really have an opinion about it yet because I haven't seen how it performs long term, but I'm really glad I'm trying this. For a lot, this is their holy grail setting spray, so I'm really pleased to be trying this, and I'll give you guys updates probably in a few weeks about how it works for me. The Maybelline Born This Way, such a pretty color of pink lipstick. This is a great choice for spring. I think it's light and fresh, cool tone pink. Just love it. And of course, the Maybelline formula is always so very good. And the Sky High mascara continues to be amazing. My lashes look so long when I use this formula, Absolutely adore it. I want to thank you for joining me for this fun Get Ready with me, and thank you for Melissa for all these great makeup suggestions. I'm tickled to find so many of them. If you found this useful, fun, and helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the Over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. I get so tickled when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the Over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Wear your sunscreen and all. See you in the next video. Bye now.